Can Andrew Yang win over independents? I really like this question because I am an independent. I'm registered independent, and for the most part, I can't stand either party. I can't stand the Republicans or the Democrats. I hate the two party system, and I've always voted for candidates rather than party. I have no allegiance to parties. And some of the data, I think it was from 2017, maybe 2018, stated somewhere between 40 and 42% of the electorate are independent voters. Okay, and that's beating out Republicans and Democrats who are like in the high 20s or something like that. So a lot of people in America identify with independence, with the independence registration, or the independent party. Even though I just declare myself an independent, not necessarily the independent party. Like I don't know any independent candidates except Bernie Sanders. There's like one or two other major ones in Congress, but it's just I want to be independent from the Democrats and the Republicans, at least until these parties get reformed or something really good happens with them. The closest I've been to to being a Democrat is Bernie Sanders. Like I'll likely register as a Democrat for the primary. I'll likely vote for Bernie Sanders. But back to Yang, who's my number two favorite pick to win. He can win independent voters. Just speaking as an independent voter, like I said, I like candidates who are outside the box, who don't necessarily speak the political language of the Republicans or the Democrats. When you listen to Andrew Yang talk, it's like, oh, even though he's running as a Democrat, he doesn't sound like a Democrat. He just sounds like a businessman. He sounds like his own man with his own thoughts, with his own agenda. And, that's refreshing as an independent voter. So I just know he'll go over well with independent voters for the reasons that I stated. He doesn't sound like a Democrat. He doesn't sound like a Republican. He doesn't sound like a politician. He's an out-of-the-box thinker. He's a businessman. He's got a lot of things going for him that independents look for that are just typically out of the box. He's an out-of-the-box guy, an out-of-the-box candidate. So that's going to go over well with anybody who's outside the framework of, the Republicans and the Democrats who have just completely said, screw them. This might bring some people back in. This could be great for the Democrats to have this guy running as a Democrat. I really think he'll bring some people back to the party, mainly because the Democrats have abandoned workers. They used to be the pro-worker party, the party of unions, the party of the working man and all that stuff, and they've lost that. But with Andrew Yang running as a Democrat, they stand to gain back some of that ground because everything Andrew Yang does is for the workers. When you look at universal basic income, Medicare for all, and human-centered capitalism, it's all centered around the worker. That's all his language is. That's all his dialogues are. It's all his data in math is pointed towards. Okay, so Andrew Yang, just by him running as a Democrat, is going to appeal to independents who used to be Democrats. Okay, because a lot of Democrats, got pissed and left the party and became something else. Just as a whole, Republicans and Democrats are dying. They are shrinking. Their bases are shrinking, and like half the country doesn't vote, and it's just ugly and it's ridiculous. And it's because they've turned their backs on the American people in so many ways. But can Andrew Yang win over independents? Absolutely. I think this would be one of his biggest draws will be with independents, because everything about Yang just reminds me of an independent thinker, an independent innovator. This guy, he's just going to go over well with independent voters. So let me know what you think here. Like, share, subscribe.